The acidity of the ocean waters is changing, and that's a consequence on shellfish, but it's beginning to show consequences on finfish like salmon and crustaceans like crab.
We turn our attention now out west, where a wet winter and spring had brought hopes for a quiet wildfire season. It's turned out to be anything but, and in fact could be one of the worst in American history.
Little bumps on them.
They're called pyrosomes and are normally found far offshore in the tropics. But they started showing up by the millions off Oregon's coast last month.
We're getting the facts on the alarming number of sea stars dying off the Oregon coast. And scientists tell us they've seen a sudden surge of the animals wasting away in just the past 2 weeks. And
Scientists tell me that a specific type of sea star is affected because of this. It's called the purple ochre, a very important species that helps keep the mussel population under control. And while the exact effects are unknown, I found out that on the surface, this could potentially change the physical look of the ocean on the entire west coast and affect seaweed.
There's crop failure, a collapse of the ecosystem, diseases like malaria and Zika that are carried by mosquitoes, droughts, wildfires, floods, hurricanes, sea level rise resulting in millions of climate refugees, an economy collapse, and a world not suitable for life. And that's not a pessimistic view. That sounds more like an apocalypse than my future.
Oregon has begun to see drastic weather changes that have resulted from man-made climate change. As a state with strong family values, we recognize that we want a better life for our future generations than our current trajectory would place us. In addition, we have recognized that burning fossil fuels not only harms the environment, but harms the health of our surrounding public. Oregon, which encompasses universities with strong environmental programs, should be towards the forefront of renewable energy movement. After thoroughly weighing the pros and cons of different forms of renewable energy in Oregon, we have concluded that offshore wind farms are in the state's best interest and will push the state forward towards a more sustainable future. The Oregon coast presents good conditions for offshore wind. Meanwhile, offshore wind is more advantageous than on-land wind because there is a constant current of wind that flows over the water, making the energy source more consistent. To be increasingly sure that residents have consistent supply to energy, we encourage the addition of a flow battery to store excess energy. Think of it like an insurance policy. Building infrastructure that prepares for problems such as power surges or power outages will decrease costs that might arise in the future. While there are different designs out there, the basic idea of a floating wind turbine design remains the same. The wind turbine will be built on a buoy that will be anchored in place by several cords that reach down to the bottom of the ocean floor. The turbines will be placed far enough offshore that they will not be impacted by major wave action. Transition lines connected to the anchors will bring energy back to Oregon homes. 4,000 wind turbines will be necessary to hit the 20,000 kilowatt quota. While this might sound like a lot, the turbines will be spaced far enough apart that they will not hurt the view too much, which is often overcast anyways, or harm the fishing industry. Boats will be able to navigate through the structure, and studies have shown that migrating birds and marine life are not majorly affected by the production of offshore wind farms. This is a smart investment because it will pay itself back. The wind does almost all the work, and we're able to utilize the limitless resources that Earth provides, rather than relying on a form of energy that will run out. And the initial construction and management of the farm will lead to job development for the state. In fact, investing in renewable energy has been shown to be a very smart economic move. This means more money in our pockets and less greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Win-win. Your children will thank you for your investment. Your health will thank you for your investment. Your wallet will thank you for your investment. And the planet will thank you for this investment.